All right, here we are again. Nano versus Ultra. As I said in the first video, I just really don't think that these two are comparable in the sense of like which one should you buy over the other. However, there are a few reasons that I have that I think you should buy one or the other, but it's been really difficult. Like I've had this camera, I've had the Nano now for about a week, maybe a little bit over a week. I've shot some stuff with it. I've shot a lot on the Go Ultra, and I'm still struggling to kind of place like which one do I like better, because the reality is that they're both so different, even though they're kind of the same. So let's roll that footage, and then we'll talk again in a little bit. All right, let's go. Cameras everywhere. Don't crash, good. All right, in today's video, we are using the Osmo Nano again. This time we're hoping to get a little bit more clarity on which one's the one to get, kind of between the Go Ultra, but I might use the Go Ultra in this video, I might not. I did take this out kind of day one to do a little bit of a spin, but today I've got more of like an actual purpose for, like I've got a ton of stuff I have to do, so I want to see, does the Osmo Nano overheat? I haven't experienced any of these things with the camera so far, but it seems to be all the rage on the internet. We are shooting 4x3, 24 frames per second, rock steady. We will have an ND on sometimes, an ND on off. Right now ND is on, so fixed shutter speed, all that stuff. Yeah, so we're gonna kind of do a little bit of a day on the life using the Osmo Nano, stress testing it, and hopefully getting a good opinion on this thing by the end of the video. So enjoy. Oh, we're also shooting D-Log M. Also, in case you're wondering, yeah, you are outside the car right now with the included suction cup mount. It's pretty awesome, actually. Like, it's very, I mean, it's not going anywhere. Okay, honestly, that worked surprisingly well, and it looked really good with the ND filter. There's something about the Nano that when I use it, it just begs for cinematic footage like you just saw. Like the car scene on the side, like because of the 10-bit D-Log and what this is capable of, I always end up wanting to use ND filters for it. And I love the system of putting these NDs and being able to quickly do that, pop them off, as opposed to having to unscrew and screw different ones on. That's something that the DJI, well actually that's something that a lot of action cameras have, but something that the Nano has over the Ultra, because the Ultra for some reason doesn't have anything with pop-ons yet. It's all screw, even from Freewell and all the usual suspects. But I find that when I have access to 10-bit D-Log, I am going to shoot in a more nostalgic way. I'm going to push the grade, and I'm going to try and make the content feel more like how I want it to feel, which is like almost like whimsical and old-fashioned, if that makes sense. And it's not that I can't do it with the other cameras, but when I have all the tools at my disposal of the image quality and the ND filters on this, I'm more likely to do it because it's, again, there's less friction. So let's go back out there. Here we go. So every year we do an advent calendar for Revolver. It's like a coffee advent calendar. Hey Sheng, how are you doing?
Hey, good to see you again.
You too. What's going on? Oh, thanks. I parked in front of your sign that says, yeah. Oh, nice.
And so like the people
If I made
it must be this way. Then we move everything here. Then make it like a no window.
freaking goat. All right, this is looking pretty good. I'm not going to show you the whole thing right now. So I'm just finalizing the artwork for Revolver's advent calendar. It's a coffee advent calendar, 24 coffees from 24 different roasters all around the world. This is the 7th year I believe we've done this, and it is probably, it's still the only advent calendar I think of its kind where there's this many different coffees to choose from. And yeah, I just got the artwork back. It looks great. It'll be finalized and probably sent off in the next few days. But it's always the hardest part of the project. It's just like the final parts. It's like, it's when it's the least exciting too, because it's like, okay, you've already seen the drawing, it looks good, and now you're just working on all the formatting and stuff like that. So yeah, that was, as you can see, just doing the classic back and forth with the printer, getting it to look as good as possible, and we're good to go. Nice shot of the city. We're about to switch to using the Go Ultra, but before we do that, I want to kind of take a moment here to talk about some of the things I don't like about the DJI and why this decision is so hard and why I still am unsure ultimately of which one of these I like. So a couple of very nitpicky things. This whole system of clicking is just, I would be able to get behind it if it was smooth and I could just like clip it, kind of like actually the Action 2. So here's the Action 2, but like look at this, okay? I barely have to do anything. Like I can almost just drop this. Like I can just drop it. This was one of the best designs ever, and I don't understand where like what happened here. If I were to drop this, like it's magnet, but it's not like we're not getting a solid connection here. It's just sticking because it's a magnet. But as you can see right now, like it's not actually connected. And when you go to push it, like I can't, it's really hard to, you have to click these things, hold them down, push them in, and then it's locked in. And it just doesn't feel good. Like it doesn't feel well thought out. It doesn't feel like a nice magnet, whereas something like the Ultra, you've got your button on the side here and boom, it's out. Like as you can see, like this is a pretty nice, it's a pretty nice connection. So in terms of like build quality, it really feels like the Nano was, they're like, okay, we have the Action 5 stuff, just grab some spare parts and turn it into a modular camera. And it's just like, I don't know, the build quality is not something that I'm used to from DJI. It doesn't feel like the Pocket 3, it doesn't feel like the Action 5 or the Action 4. It really does feel like a little bit more of a budget camera. But the good news is that it actually is a more budget camera compared to something like the Go Ultra. So even though it's a con, it's kind of expected because of the reduced price. And it's still a fantastic camera. Again, I really like the size of the whole thing. Like it fits nicely into my pocket. It doesn't bulge too much. Like the Ultra is a little bit bigger, but then it's like at the same time, yes, it's smaller, but then when you take the Nano off itself, like this thing, it's a super fat camera. Like this is not discreet in any way. So you're putting it here, you've got this massive logo. It's just like this big thing, whereas the Nano is more like, or sorry, the Ultra is just like this really nice, almost like my buddy Cam Brown says, it's like a little skipping rock. Like you just want to throw this across a river. But even with all of its quirks, like I really do like the camera. Like there is some charm to it. So it's hard for me to discount it and say, oh, you shouldn't get this and you should get the other one, because it also, like with the cheaper price and everything, it's got that going for it. This whole thing of having to flip around the camera is not ideal. You get used to it. It doesn't bother me that much because, again, when you're using a camera like this, like you're vlogging and you turn it around and you don't really need to see what you're doing all the time. And most of the time, I'm going to be putting this somewhere and framing on here. The other annoying thing about this camera, and I've heard that they will solve this in an update, but I'm not sure, is, okay, so I've got the mic mini now connected, and you can see the top line there. It's on and off, like things like that. So you know it's connected. The moment that we disconnect this, look at what happens. You can no longer use this to preview because it's using the wireless connection for the microphone. This is kind of like, okay, great, we can use a wireless microphone with this thing, but if it's not in, we can't use this anymore to see. So it's like, maybe like you may as well just use an Action 5 at that point if you're trying to use it remotely, which is kind of annoying. Again, to me, it's not a deal breaker, but it's just something to be aware of. Okay, now I've switched to the Go Ultra. I was kind of thinking about just doing this video on the Nano, but I shot a whole bunch on the Nano in the morning, and now I figured I would switch to the Go Ultra to kind of just see how they compare back to back, like in usability wise. And already I feel a lot more comfortable recording with the Go Ultra. I like the thumb grip. So what I'm talking about is that with this little grip, it's just very nice to hold. Like when I'm vlogging, I'm constantly holding it like this, and my whole hand is on the back like that. And it just gives you a nice little grip to vlog with. Not to mention this beautiful 2-inch, whatever it is, screen. Like you've got, I always joke, like if you never took the Ultra out of the pod, if you never did this, this would still be a good camera to buy. Like it's that good as an everyday camera to me. Here, it's just a very natural position. While we're on the recording here, another thing I really like is that there's no branding on the front of the Ultra itself. So like when you take the Ultra out of its pod, the build quality on this thing is fantastic. It's actually a lot better built than the Nano, but it's also like $150, $180 more. So we kind of expect that with the increase in price, but I still think that the Go Ultra is more of an all-round camera. Like if you want to vlog to a camera, if you could get away with using the Go Ultra and never taking it away from its pod, and you'd still be happy with the camera. That's, I think, what I'm trying to get at here. There's no asterisks with this camera as far as I'm concerned. Also, for my cases, like when it comes to the field of view, I like them both, but I like the fact that the Ultra is so wide. Like we've got a 156 degree field of view. Like this is a lot. And then, like I said, so if you want to get a little bit closer and get a little bit more detailed shots, like you can do that in one camera, and that make up a lot of versatility when it comes to vlogging on the go. So that's just something to keep in mind. Yes, please. Thank you. I'm also using the Insta360 Mic Air. Lots of pickles, jalapenos, olives as well, banana peppers as well. Honey mustard and mayonnaise. Just a little bit of mayonnaise. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Have a great day.
You too. There's honestly just no craving like a Subway craving. Like, I'm not proud to say it, but I went wildly out of my way to get this. I wonder what the range is like on this thing. Let's see. Hello, hello, hello. Hello, hello, hello. And I got my back turned to it. So, like, it seems like it's still connected. Like, I'm way out here. I don't even know if you guys can see me. Like, so far, if this is working, this is a lot longer range than I was getting from the X5. And I had my back turned to it as I was walking over here. All right, truth be told, if that all worked, I'm pretty impressed with the range on that. Like, we're, yeah, probably 20, 25 feet away. And I just put it on the back of that stop sign right there to get a little bit of a distance shot. That is a lot farther than I'll ever be from my microphone, or like from my camera in terms of like a range test. And that's the Insta360 Mic Air directly connected to the pod, no transmitter or no receiver. So as you can see right here, the Mic Air is connected. You can see the volume bar at the top when I'm talking. But if we were to remove this from the Action Pod, we still have full mic capability and screen preview. That's something that the Nano does not have. And just overall build quality of the Ultra is a lot better. So I think you are getting the benefits of the more expensive price tag. It's just a matter of do you need a whole inclusive kit, or do you just need a POV camera? I already did talk about it, but remember that you're going to get a lot wider field of view with the Ultra versus the Nano, and as well as you're going to get the option to do that 2x crop without losing any resolution. You're still getting a 4K image because it's a bigger sensor. It's cropping into the sensor, not a digital zoom. That to me is a big deal because you're getting effectively two different focal lengths to play with when you're using these cameras. All right, we have reached another stop. So I recently picked up another camera. Not a video camera. Well, you can't use it for video. So while I would tend to give the Nano the image quality crown as far as like which one's better image quality, scenes like this, you're like, okay, well, the Nano, the Ultra is actually doing a really good job of balancing the exposure. Like you've got this backlight, there's HDR enabled. It doesn't really look like HDR. It just looks nice. So I'll play that scene again so you can see it again. But I wanted to take a similar philosophy or similar approach that I've taken to video cameras with my stills cameras. So I actually ended up picking up the Ricoh GR4. I'm not a beginner to Ricoh at all. Like I've had a GR1, the Ricoh GR3X, even the Ricoh GR3 for a little bit. And I love these cameras, but I always ended up selling them and buying like an X100 or something that was a little bit more substantial. But this time I think just based on what's happened with the small cameras, if I can take that same mentality into photography and have like a beautiful APS-C camera this size, that's incredible. But I am picking up a flash for it, so let's go do that. How's it going? I'm here to pick up the Ricoh flash, or to pay for it too, or something. And within 2 seconds of getting this, I'm using it, and my son grabbed it with yogurt hands, turned it on, and stuck his finger into the lens. I was like, oh my gosh! And it went to close, and the shutter, like the cover, was just stuck. So I spent like a bunch of time like cleaning it up and everything, and I was like, oh my gosh. So unfortunately, I think we arrived kind of at the first conclusion that I had in the first video I posted with the Nano, where these two are not really competing cameras. It seems like they are in a lot of ways because they do similar things, but to me, it's like if you're a professional and you want to get the best image quality out of your POV camera and you're okay with adding another camera that's relatively inexpensive, then you're not going to look further than this. Like the D-Log 10-bit is real. It looks fantastic. But as you might have seen in a previous video, when you mix the two together and you're doing things, like it becomes less noticeable, but it just depends on what do you value in your cameras. Because in a lot of ways, like I love the image quality I can get out of this. I'm willing to put up with some of the quirks to get the image quality with this because it just reminds me of my Action 5, but with more capabilities. Whereas this is almost like an all-in-one solution. You've got a flip screen, so you're able to film the low shots, which is nice. You can take this out and you've still got a very functional unit here with a good grip. Like you've got this here, you can do all of this stuff. Like it gives you a lot of the no branding on the front of this camera. The whole thing just feels premium. This feels like an Apple product, and this feels like an Android product. This feels like something that a movie set put together to get a shot, and this feels like a well-designed 360-degree experience, no pun intended with the Insta360. So you're going to have a hard time getting from me which one should you buy, because they ultimately serve different purposes or the same purpose depending on what it is. But you need to evaluate what your use case is as a whole. If you're already in the DJI ecosystem, like you use a DJI Pocket or something like that, then this is probably going to be a nice little companion device for that, and most likely you already have a mic, all of those things. if you're just looking to get into this and you want to have a very versatile camera, a one and done, then I think that this is probably the better option. But again, it really comes down to what your use case is. And I'm having a hard time, as somebody who loves both of these cameras and loves these modular designs, I'm having a hard time choosing which one I want to use more primarily, because another thing is like the size difference. This thing, though I think it's valid with all of the extra stuff you get, when you put this into your pocket, like it does stick out a little bit. Like you feel it in there. Whereas this, I don't feel this at all. But the funny part is that even though this is the smaller camera of the two, when you take their modules out, this thing is a joke in comparison to this. Like this is super tiny. And this is like this massive or baby Action 5, but like this is a far better design. So I don't know. We're in the same spot again. I'm sorry. I wish that I could tell you which one you should get. I do know that I've never experienced any overheating issues with either of these cameras, but I don't think anyone has really experienced any overheating issues with the Go Ultra. It seems to just be exclusive to this DJI Nano right here. So what do you want me to say? I don't know. This is annoying. I didn't want to be here. I didn't want to be in this position to be frustrated with a review. Yet here we are. So thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Peace. Oh, that wasn't necessary.